Hi everyone, I'm doing my John Maxwell and I'm still focusing on Leadership Gold. The chapter that I read today was about doing what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. So that's a nice sentiment. It's a nice concept when you don't come from a poor family or you don't come from a family where your options are limited. In my case, I had to take whatever work was available. In Zimbabwe, I worked for our Muslim friends, our Hindu friends. I worked in their shops in retail. And then I worked in takeaways, which is fast food restaurants over the holidays. I worked in taking out garbage, painting pots in Canada for Mothers Against Drunk Driving when I first came. That was my first job. They had me taking out the garbage and painting the pots for the events that they were going to have. And I had never heard of this concept before of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, but we had an event and they put up all the photos of all the young people that had died because of drunk drivers. And I knew somebody back home that had died, and it was very emotional for me. It was a young girl, and it wasn't her fault. They were in a car and there was a drunk driver, and the car went into a pole and the light came down the street lamp and it cut her neck, the jugular vein, and she died. So I guess when we're thinking about jobs and we're thinking about concepts and reading books, we have to think critically as well about what options are there, what's available, what we can do, which is not to say that we can't do what we have to do now and keep trying and keep applying for the kinds of jobs that we want to do. But it's just to say that when we do leadership development and leadership coaching, when I mentor people, I don't have set the expectation that, go in applying for your dream job. I talk about transferable skills, I talk about how they can adapt their resume, and I try to do those things myself. But in Canada, there's a lot of discrimination. So for example, they'll say, oh, that's not recent experience. Our employer wants recent experience. So what are you supposed to do? You can say, well, I can learn, I can adapt, I have the experience, and I can, with some help, adjust. But that's one of the things we get in Canada. John Maxwell always says, don't put live eggs under dead chickens. And that's very true. If you're dealing with people and you're dealing with a culture where no matter what you do, they're going to set up another roadblock and another roadblock and another roadblock, you need to explore your opportunities and move elsewhere. And that's what I'm doing. So my forte and what I am good at is being an executive assistant. And the executive assistant job is one where you have to work well with your executive. The personalities have to be a fit, otherwise it's not going to work. Some of the contracts I had, for example, at TD, they'd say to me, oh, they want you to think for them. They want you to anticipate their needs and don't wait to be told what to do. But then when you don't wait to be told what to do and you go ahead and do what you think is right, then you get into trouble. So it's a catch-22. You can't really win unless you've worked with that person, I would say, for at least a year. Then you know how they think, you know how they like things done. Personally, I think Canadians are unrealistic. They have no respect for immigrants that come into the country and what we bring to the table. And they don't treat us with any respect. That's been my experience. They want you to hit the ground running, without coaching, without help, without development, and it's impossible to do that. I don't know which planet they think people came from, but it's impossible to do that. People will make mistakes, people will have to adjust, and with trial and error, you learn and you grow and you adapt and you change. And I think that people who expect anyone, not just me, as an executive assistant to think for them, without knowing them, without having worked with them, is unrealistic. And talent is not enough. opportunity is not enough. We have to learn from our mistakes. We have to adjust as we go along. And knowledge is an asset. People say to me, oh, education is not important. Education is important. The skills that I learned at university are skills I take with me wherever I go. I lived in a country where I was alone. I didn't have any family nearby. I didn't have any friends. I had to find out my schedule. I had to find out how the meals worked. I had to find out how to pay for things. I had to learn skills that I take into my daily life and that I use. And I use those skills. And if something's wrong, I know how to read policies, how to question, when to question. I'll give you an example. I renewed my insurance for my condo, and the new documents were not sent out to me. So I had to contact my broker. I had to say to him, I haven't received it. This is the documents they sent to me. Is this included? I have to think critically. Like, why are they sending me the old documents? Does that mean they didn't change the policy? They're still going to charge the old rate? So education is important, and those who say university education it means nothing, I completely disagree. University education is important and it's valid. So are trades and skills, secretarial work, plumbing work. We need those kinds of things too. But there are other skills that you learn at university that you don't get taught in the colleges, in the trades. And we need everything. We need all those skills to make life function. So I think it's important. When I read this, I did question what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm doing what I'm doing because I have to. I don't have a choice. I've been applying for jobs. I've been trying to get back into a good paying job. I haven't had the opportunity. So leadership is important, and executives who work with a good secretary appreciate a secretary. They appreciate having a business partner. They don't treat you like you're just there to get the meals and do the photocopying and run their errands, pick up their laundry. There might be some people that are like that, but the true business partner doesn't do that. And I've had positions as a secretary on boards. I've had positions as a secretary with executive teams. I've had a lot of different administrative roles, and that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. Yes, I'm good with the customer service. I've been trained to do it. It's very hard for me because you're not seeing people face to face. Everything's over the phone, over the internet. It's different from being in a bricks and mortar store, but there are benefits. I work from home. I get the coaching, I get the training, and I've been taught. Sometimes I get told, oh, you raised your voice. To me, what is speaking loudly to other people is raising my voice. So I've had to adjust. I've had to change to work with the Americans. And we all have to do that. Whichever country we're in, we have to adjust and change. I do what I'm told. Even if they say take initiative and don't wait to be told, I don't do that anymore. Because I've lost too many opportunities doing that and being blamed for other people's mistakes. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And even my former dean at Regis College used to tell people, Belinda doesn't get treated with any respect. And she's one of the nicest people. She's educated, she's qualified, and she deserves to be treated with respect. But that's my experience. Other people come to this country and they love it. And things go smoothly for them. People like me help open doors for them. We connect them to recruiters. We connect them to agencies. We put in a word for them. So that's life. It's a nice concept. Do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. But for some of us, the reality is very different. For me, I'm disgusted with how my life has gone. Having to take handouts from people, having to take money from people, even if it's my family, or even if it's people I lived with in Bulawayo. I hated it. I hated having to live in somebody else's house and not in my father's house. I hate the fact that even at this age, I'm still not financially able to earn what I should be earning, with my degrees, my qualifications, my skills, my talent. I'm disgusted with the way that life has gone. And there are some of my cousins in England, they say, no, you shouldn't feel that way. You've done well. You should be proud of what you've accomplished. It's okay to look for other things. And I say, well, you know what? This has been going on since childhood. From the time that my grandfather died, I lived with other people. I had to adjust to their ways, to their family, how they did things. I had to accept that I had to walk home from the college to go to their location so we could go home together. I had to accept what other people decided for me, and other people made plans and I had to follow it. And now I'm in the same position. Thank God I've got a job and I don't have to live with people, and I don't have to hear people saying I created the harassment. Anyone that knows me knows I'm professional. I don't hit on guys, I don't run after guys for their money, and I'm really offended and very hurt by being accused of creating harassment and being obsessed and fixated with men, because I'm definitely not like that. But I've learned people are going to say what they want. The unfortunate thing is that once they spoil your reputation, it's very hard to get that reputation back. It took me years and years and years to build up my reputation, and they spoiled it. So all I can do is keep trying, keep applying, and I owe thousands to people. There's one friend that gave me 7,000, hoping I wouldn't lose my home at Rosewell Gardens. My mother gave me 7,000. My aunt gave me some money. I'm adding up all the amounts. I don't know how I'm going to pay them back. And my aunt told me, you just keep in mind that if you ever need me, you do not go on welfare. She said, you come to America, you can come and stay with me. Thank God I've got her. Other people don't have somebody like that will say, you don't go on welfare. If things get to a point where you can't cope anymore, you come and you live with me. I'm glad I've got her, and I've got somebody that loves me like that. Some people don't have that. And I've tried to say that to my family, to my brother. I've tried to let him know, if anything happens, I will be here for you. I will help you. I will do whatever I can. I don't have money, but I have knowledge. I have skills. I know how things work. If you come to Canada, I will do whatever I can to help you and your family. That's all I can do. But I had to go for my spiritual direction. I had to rediscover God's love for me, because I'm disgusted with the way my life has gone. Years and years and years of hard work, studying, putting in the time, mentoring people, helping people, and still I'm having to take handouts. And people can say, oh, that's circumstances. But you know what? You feel terrible. You feel awful within yourself. And you feel angry within yourself that at the age of 50, you were made a bum. You were made to go on the street and walk the streets up and down looking for work. It's really a terrible feeling. But I'll keep applying, I'll keep trying. And I've got other good friends. I've got friends in Greece. And at least I know I've got people that I can go to who will say, if things worse comes to worse, you come to us, you come and stay with us. That's true friendship. But that's life. They say, do what you love and you'll never have to work in a day in your life. That can be true. But in my case, it's not. I'm not where I want to be, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure I get to where I want to be, and earning the top dollars, having decent hours, having a 9-to-5 job, coming home, being able to go out, being able to travel. And you can say everybody wants those things, but not all of us have done the work. Not all of us have put in the time. Not all of us have had to hold 3 jobs. Not all of us have sponsored our mothers. Not all of us were made refugees. Not all of us were born into an unfair society of apartheid. So when people tell me everyone wants the same things, I'm like, okay, but I've done the work and I haven't received the rewards. I'll keep going.